stage in the professional speaking world asks the question, do I need to have humor in my presentations? Only if you want to get paid. Now, your goal may not be to get paid to be a speaker. Yet, if you want to connect with audiences in today's world, humor is vital. As a certified world-class speaking coach, one of the top questions that my clients ask me is, Mike, how can I get more humor into my presentations? I really want the audience to connect with me and be present. Well, the answer to that question and many others will be found in this and succeeding videos. When you incorporate the tools that you pick up in these videos, you'll find that you'll create more opportunities to speak. You'll become better known in your field. Your confidence will increase. Your income just might go up. You'll reduce the stress and anxiety often involved with creating a standout presentation, and you'll have a lot more fun. How can I confidently say that you'll experience these results? Because it happened to me. Hi, I'm Michael Davis, the Speaking MD. And when I was a teenager, I once heard Bill Cosby say that if you want to be funny or think funny, surround yourself with humor. So I did. I went out and bought every humorous magazine and book and recording that I could find. And I studied this material over and over and over until it became a part of my daily life. Today, 12 years later, I can't think of any other way to think about life. Wait, you may be thinking you misheard me there. Did I say 12 years? Yes, I did. This is a humor video. Gotcha. Let me rephrase my last statement. In the many, many, many years since I was a teenager, I found that humor is a daily part of my life. I see humor all around me, and it helps me think funnier and really be more positive and optimistic. What I've done over the years is I've invested many countless hours and thousands of dollars to understand how and why humor works. As a certified world-class speaking coach, and I was certified in 2011, part of what we learned was how to help people breathe more humor into their presentations. And that's the purpose of these videos. Now, you may be thinking, I'm not funny, nothing happens to me that's funny, or I work in a technical job and there's nothing humorous about that. Well, I will respectfully but strongly disagree. What you do or who you are does not dictate whether you're funny. Humor is a mindset. And what these videos are truly designed to do at their core is help you start to develop the habit of humor. This subject is like any other. Exercise, eating, even how you drive to work. You can create new habits. When you start to look at the world through funny eyes, when you start seeking those humorous stories or situations, your life will change for the better. Again, how do I know? I've experienced it. So today we're going to focus on two misconceptions about humor. The first is that humor equals jokes. Oh, this is so wrong, okay? Maybe back in the 20th century you could get away with sticking jokes in speeches, but not anymore. Today's audience is time sensitive. They want you to get to the point and give them something of value. There are essentially four problems with telling jokes. The first is, the most important, what if it's not funny? This can be a major problem. I'm sure you've experienced the same situation I have, where you hear a speaker tell a joke and the air gets sucked out of the room. People might groan, they might squirm in discomfort because the joke either was inappropriate, didn't belong, or just didn't make sense. And the poor speaker standing at the front of the room has now dug a hole from which he or she has to dig him or herself out of. Not a good situation to be in. Chances are you've been one of those people to tell the jokes. I know I have. The second problem has to do with being in this hole. When you dig a hole for yourself, you've disconnected yourself from the audience. And it takes so much more work to get reconnected to them. Again, being time sensitive, they may check out and you'll never have an opportunity to develop that rapport and bond with them. The third problem, which I've touched upon, is what if the joke is offensive? Now I know in the year 2014, when this video is being shot, the standards for humor have really loosened up. However, in a business setting, it's just not worth the risk to tell jokes that could turn people off. The fourth problem, and it's really not a problem, is the situation that you don't need to tell jokes when a great story will do. Stories are the answer to incorporating humor into your presentations. Why is this? Well, they eliminate all the problems that jokes created. Let me share an example with you that just occurred to me in the last 24 hours. Imagine for a moment that I'm giving a presentation about the subject of how things aren't always as they seem. Well, I would share this story that just happened to me. Last night, I was at my stepson Sean's football practice, sitting in the bleachers, and over to my right, I noticed two very cute little girls, probably 4 and 2 years old. They were playing in a play area. Well, I heard the older girl say, "Mama, Sissy's bothering me." And I heard Mama's voice far down the bleachers say, "Rebecca, you let Sissy play with you." "I don't want to." "You either let her play with you or you will sit next to me on this bench. Do you understand, young lady?" The two girls went off to play, and I put them out of my mind. For the next 5 minutes or so, I was watching Sean's practice. All of a sudden, I heard this, "Wah!" It was Sissy. She had apparently gotten hurt. And as I looked over, I noticed Rebecca put her arm around Sissy and with great concern say, "Sissy, are you okay?" And she very delicately walked Sissy over to her mama. And as Mama thanked Rebecca for walking Sissy over, Rebecca turned to walk back to the play area. And that's when this huge grin crossed her face. And under her breath, thinking no one could hear her, she said, "She's gone, she's gone. I get to play by myself. She's gone, she's gone." I busted out laughing. It was hilarious to me. Now, why would that story work if nobody laughed? You may not be laughing right now, and that's okay. I can take it. If I was trying to tell a joke in that circumstance to try to illustrate my point that things aren't always as they seem, and you didn't laugh, well, I've got a problem. I've got to dig myself out of that hole. However, this story illustrates my point, and that's why I thought it was so hilarious. Rebecca had no interest in her sister's well-being. She just wanted that play area to herself. And I didn't see what she did, but she clearly maneuvered circumstances to get Sissy out of her way. That's a great example of how things aren't always as they seem. The concern she held with the arm around her, it was a great act. I mean, this girl could become an Academy Award-winning actor someday. With a joke, that wouldn't work. The story basically supports the point. If nobody laughs, and let's say I've told that story to 10 other audiences and they laughed every time, but the 11th audience didn't laugh, no big deal. I could just say, "Hey, you're not the first audience that didn't laugh, but hopefully you got the point." And hopefully you got the point too. A story can sell the idea where the joke won't, and the joke can create a negative circumstance. Now, another key point to that is, did I have to be funny to get the audience to laugh? Absolutely not. I just recounted the story. I put you in the scene, shared some of the things that were said, told you Rebecca's response. She provided all the humorous material. I was just the storyteller. So if you're one of those people that thinks, "I'm not funny," don't worry. The story will provide the humor. And that leads me into my second point, which is the importance of creating a story file. My friend and the co-creator of the how to breathe how to breathe humor into your presentations workshop is named Phil Barth. Phil is one of the funniest people I know, great speaker. He competed in the Toastmasters International World Championship of Public Speaking back in 2011, so he's a great speaker. Phil is the best I've ever seen at creating a humor library. His whole life he's been funny. I don't know if he was born that way, but he was like me. He had an inspiration early on. He just started studying the subject. But ever since his boys were born, and they're now all teenagers, Phil has kept a journal of funny things they've done, they've said, and he has such a bank of material to go to if he has a story he wants, or a subject he wants to share, and he needs some supporting stories. He just goes to that. But more than his sons, Phil is great at just capturing the moment. He carries his iPhone with him, and what he does is he will snapshots and post them to Facebook. He uses any opportunity he can to create humor, share that with people, but he thinks about the world in a funny way. When you create a story file, it's a lot like a bank account. You keep making deposits, you make deposits. The interest is really your mindset. It grows, and it grows, and it grows. When you create this habit, you're actually activating the reticular activating system in your mind or your brain. If you're not familiar with the reticular activating system, or RAS, it's a part of your brain that actually focuses on objects that you're thinking about. As an example, let's say you wanted to buy a new car and you're looking at a blue Toyota Corolla. Well, from that moment on, you're going to begin to notice every blue Toyota Corolla in the neighborhood. And that's because your brain is focused on that. Well, when you start thinking about humor, you're looking for it, and you want to find humorous material, it'll be there for you. Your mindset will create a new way of looking at circumstances and situations. And they're all over the place. I mean, this story about Rebecca and Sissy, it happened yesterday, and I was able to provide it in this video. So those are the two key ideas that I wanted to share with you today to get started on this journey together of how to breathe more humor into your presentations. What I would encourage you to do is start to incorporate them. Don't think in terms of jokes. Look at it as far as humorous stories and situations. And start to create that humor file. Put it on a computer, notepad, doesn't matter, whatever works for you. But start that habit of recording your humorous situations, and you'll begin to activate that part of your brain that's always looking for more and more. It's like you can't get enough. It's like compound interest in a bank account. Now, before we part ways for this video, I have two thoughts for you. Number one, would love to hear back from you on how these ideas are helping you. In the comment box below this video, please let us know how these are helping. Or include or put questions in there. Maybe this video triggered questions, things you'd like to hear in future videos. So please let us know that. I look forward to hearing or talking with you on the next video. And there we'll talk about how do you deal with unexpected audience responses, and how do you choose where to put humorous material in your presentations. That can make all the difference as far as the effectiveness of your humor. Look forward to talking with you on the next video. Until then, always remember, you have a story and a message someone needs to hear.